welcome to Mobility with me, Naomi. This is Ben, this is Kylie, and we are going to go through a little bit of myofascial release today and some stretching. So, first thing is first, be sure that you have a lacrosse ball. You can use a mat if you want to, we do not have them. If you're good and sore, you might look a little different than us. I'm going to try to coach you through that as we move. So, we're going to start in a comfortably seated position. I need you guys to just sit crisscross applesauce. Yep. So you're gonna tend to cross one foot in front just because that's your dominant leg. I want you to sit up on your sit bones. If you want to, you can pull the meat of your booty away so you can find your sit bones. You're gonna sit up with your chest and you're gonna gently reach forward. So we're gonna sit here. We are going to be reaching. You want your neck to be in line with your back, so kind of let your gaze come down towards your thumbs or even between your elbows. You might find that you're tighter on one side than the other, right? So see how Ben doesn't have a lot of bendability, right? He's not all the way bent over, but that's why he's here. We want to show that. Whereas I might be able to reach. If you look like this, that's fine. Just try to keep your spine nice and neutral. I know the socks hang out here. Good. You're gonna breathe, you're gonna sit up. You're gonna breathe in. As you breathe out, you're gonna twist to the right. Open up your chest, nice and big. The right. It's okay. Just twist one leg, and we'll get the other one. You're gonna sit here. If you want to, you can gaze over that left shoulder. For your right shoulder, I guess. Makes more sense. And we're going to switch sides. So breathe in, and exhale, switch. Try to keep even pressure on both of your hips and glutes. We're going to breathe here. Good. You're going to exhale, untwist. Now we're going to switch the cross of our feet. It's going to feel terribly awkward.
I don't like it.
No, we don't like it. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to breathe in. As we exhale, you're going to reach forward. Yep. If this hurts your knees, you guys, you can always sit on top of a blanket. Just flex your toes so that your knee is in line, whatever's comfortable for you. If it looks like this, that's okay too. You just don't want to be twisting at your knee joint. Come over to your degree. We're going to hang out here, a few more breaths. And we're going to sit up. Do our spin again. Opposite way first. Good job. We're freestyling the way we rotate.
Well, I'm opposite you because I'm left-handed.
Oh. Ben's left-handed, so he turned the other way. And we're going to breathe in, and as you exhale, come the other direction. Try to really open up your chest and twist through your lumbar spine here. Good. All right. Now, we're going to sit and make a big letter L, so you're going to extend your feet out in front of you. You want to make sure that you're sitting up and you're not like this. All right, so you're going to sit up, draw your chest forward. You're going to flex your toes toward your nose, right? So they're not like this, they're not relaxed. You're gonna actively engage your thighs, try to press them into the ground and flex your toes toward your nose. You should start to feel a stretch in your hamstrings just a little bit. And what we're gonna do is we're going to start to reach forward towards our toes, but we're gonna lead with our chest. So we don't want it to look like this, we want it to look like this. And we're gonna come down to your degree, so we're gonna start that reach. If you can't reach your toes, that's fine. Oh, Ben can't. I was gonna say, I think we just have long arms. So come down to your degree. We're gonna. Right. There we go. So be sure that you're actively pressing in. So you're being active in your stretch. You're not just hanging out, right? Good. We are going to take a big deep breath in. As we exhale, we're gonna try to push a little bit further. Try not to bounce. Good. And we're gonna come on up. You have your lacrosse ball. Yeah? Okay, we're doing the same thing, but we're gonna be working on our hamstring tightness. It's going to not feel good. So you're going to take your lacrosse ball. I'm gonna start with my left leg. I'm gonna stick it right under, so not my glute, but where my hip joint, so where my hamstring meets my glute, right? So right where like the crease in your booty goes. Yeah?
Booty crease.
Booty crease, yep. So this might be enough for you, right, pressure-wise? Ditch this over there. This might be enough for you pressure-wise. You want to try to not tend to the hip that doesn't have a lacrosse ball under it, right? So even lean on both hips. We're gonna do that same thing if we want a little more pressure to release the fascia here, right? So we're gonna breathe in, we're gonna breathe out, and we're just gonna try to evenly reach. Notice how you can't go as far. Yeah, you're just gonna hang out here. If it doesn't hurt and you can just go forward, you might wanna move it a little bit left or right and find that painful spot for yourself. It shouldn't be too painful, but it should definitely be a little bit uncomfortable. All right, we're gonna hang out here. It feels so good. Try to draw your shoulder blades down along your back. Yeah, lengthen your neck, perfect. All right, breathe out. Now we're going to switch legs. What we do to one side, we always want to do to the other. I'll show you this angle so you can see the weight. So we're going to place it in the booty crease again. Nice even weight on the hips. This does not feel good on this side for me. And we're going to breathe out, lean forward, lead with that chest. That was smart. Ben did the bad side first. That makes sense. Good. Be sure you're still actively pressing, right? So your thighs are active, you're pressing those into the ground, and you're leaning forward with that chest. It feels so good. Yeah, if you want to, you can breathe, touch other side if you want. Good. Try not to bring tension into your traps. A lot of people like to hike like this. Just make sure your neck is nice and long. Create space between the ears and the shoulder blades. Good. All right, one more breath here. And relax. All right, we're gonna move this guy. We're going back to our left side. I rotate so you can see me. Right where, like if your hip bones are dead in front, you come out to the side and you were to point at your booty from the side, it should be right where you want that lacrosse ball to be. So on your left side, you're gonna roll onto it gently and hang out like you're on the beach, but it feels really bad. The worst speech ever. So you want this to just be compressing. You don't want it directly on your hip bone or anything bony. This is for your soft tissue. So this might be enough pressure for you. Be sure to bend this bottom leg and try to roll your top hip on top and stack it on top of your bottom hip. If you cannot, you can just hang out like you're on the beach. But you want to try to be almost like a side plank, but you're not floating up above the ground. It should feel pretty bad. Same thing here, you want to align your neck, your back, so you're not just hanging, right? Create space, just breathe. We're gonna hang out here for 2 more breaths. How's it feel? Good? Okay, and we're gonna spin back over and okay, so same thing. You're gonna point to your booty from the side here, and we're just gonna roll on over. Be sure to bend that bottom knee. If this is too much for you, you can take pressure off by just kind of posting with this leg, right? But if you want more pressure, just slowly breathe out. Try to roll that hip on top of the other one. It should feel pretty bad if you're sore and tight. Gonna hang out here. Good. And we're gonna roll on off. How's it feel? Good? Great. Feeling good. Okay. Right? Okay. So we're gonna go back into stretch mode before we roll again. So I'm gonna need you guys to come into a low lunge position. So what you wanna make sure you're doing is you're square with your knee and your foot. So you're not like this, right? You wanna square out. So be sure you're nice and square. We're gonna curl our tailbone under and start to reach forward. If you want to protect this front knee, just walk the foot forward and just take that pressure out of your toe, bring it into your heel, and then slide forward. Good, I'm going to come through and coach these guys so you can see the difference. Good, so we're going to cue Ben to open up his chest. We don't want him to look at the sky, we actually want him to keep straight ahead. We're going to have him tuck his tailbone under and squeeze his booty cheek. You want to make sure the back foot isn't sickling left and right. It's nice and straight in line with the knee. We're gonna hang out here. If this is a good degree for him, he can stay here.
Yes, it is.
If it's more, we're gonna come to Kylie. She's got her booty cheek active. We're gonna unsickle her foot as well. Yep, feels a little different. She's gonna reach up with her left hand, so the leg that's breathe out, you can come bring your hands to the floor, and we're gonna switch to our other leg. All right. So you should be stretching this area in the front of your hip. Perfect. You're gonna do the same thing. So curl that tailbone under. We're curling her tailbone under. She's nice and square. Her foot looks good. It's in line with the knee. And she's opening up with that arm. And so is Ben. So he's opening up. Notice that his rib cage isn't just, he's not coming from his back, right? He's still active in his abs. And he's feeling a good stretch in the front of that hip. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. Good for 3, 2, and come on. All right. This is going to get really fun. It's funny, one side's always better than the other. So, now we're going to lay on our bellies. We're going to take our lacrosse ball. If these are your hip bones, they're about a few inches in. And if you're unsure if you're on the tissue that you should be, you want to go down and it should be like spring. And when you move your knee towards your chin, you should feel it activate. So we want it right there. We don't want it on the bone, we want it on the muscle tissue. We're gonna lay down, right? We're just gonna press into that. So, same thing, good spinal alignment. You don't wanna be sagging, right? Really tuck that booty under, activate your glutes. We're gonna hang out here, yeah. It might take a little fishing to find it. Here, find it. Yeah, so Kylie is opening up her hip to get more weight. That's totally fine. If you want to, you can activate this foot and flex your toe and try to kind of bring it in towards your glute as you squeeze your glute. You want to hang out here for 30 to 60 seconds. We are going to swap sides pretty shortly here. All right, guys. Now we're going to come on up. And we are going to switch sides. So, again, lacrosse ball underneath, lay down, and curl the tailbone under, right? There's a difference here. And if that's enough, you can stay, or you can try to pull this foot into your booty while still squeezing your glute. You can also do this and kind of just stack the hips and get more weight. Feels so good. If you feel something in your abs kind of slip and slide or pop, that's that same muscle. It's just rooted pretty high up. We're gonna hang out here for 2 more breaths. 1 more. And good. All right. Now, how do you feel? Good? Nice and limber. All right. We're going to come back to this position again. But we're going to come outside and bring our hands inside of our foot. Once these guys do that, we're going to coach you through a little bit better. So leave at the chest, bring the hands to the floor. Your knees should almost hug in to that outside delt. Yep. So you want to actively press the knee into your delt. Good. And then you're going to come up onto your back foot. Your back leg will start to straighten like a lunge. Like this. Want that? Yeah. So the tendency here will be to tip and slip and slide. So you want to keep your hips as square as possible. Bring your head up into alignment. Perfect. Draw the shoulder blades down along the back. Good. It's doing great. Right? So tuck your chin just a little. Kylie had the opposite problem as Ben. Perfect. We're going to hang out here. And we're actually going to open our inside hand towards the sky. And draw our gaze up towards the ceiling. Inside hand. Yep. It should feel different. If you're tight, it might not feel very good, right? Good, we're gonna hang out here. How Ben has his weight in his foot is just fine.
Okay, good.
That's what his hip wants to do. We don't want it injured him, right? So Kylie's able to keep her foot flat. It looks different for her, but it's still good. These guys hate me right now, so we're gonna come down. Good, we are going to breathe out into a plank. So, yep, breathe out. Good. Good. Hang out here, and we're going to just swap sides. Bring the opposite one forward. Good. Settle in here first. Good. Knee down. Good. And then you're going to float that knee up if it is not up already. Good. Make sure your head is aligned with your spine. Guys, did a good job and listen. You want to actively press that floor away. You don't want to sink in your shoulders. Be sure to hug that knee into that shoulder and out. Perfect. Now we're going to open up to the sky. Yeah. These guys did legs yesterday. They hate me right now, but it's okay. Good. We're going to breathe here for a moment. Notice he's able to actually keep his foot flat on this side. Oh, sorry. So we're doing good. We're going to do one more breath in, and then breathe out onto plank. And plank. Good. And you guys can just lower yourself to the ground. Perfect. So, once you're on the ground, on your belly. Oh. No, it's okay. You can come up here. Once you're on the ground, what I want you guys to do is kind of hug your button and zipper up your feet like you're a mermaid. Yep. You want to drive the tops of the feet into the ground, and then you're just going to open that chest towards the sky. Yep. It might not go very far, or you can press all the way up. Yep. If you have the extension in your spine, that's fine. Be sure you're actively pressing your feet into the ground. Soft bend. You don't want to overextend, right? Soft bend. You're holding here. You're going to breathe out, come down. Good. Make sure your hands are directly a little bit under your armpits and just right tucked in next to you. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we're going to lift again. Squeeze your booty, squeeze your mermaid tail. Press, press, press. Hold here. Just trying to release the front of the body a little bit here. You're going to come down to the ground. And we are going to reach our right arm back. And if we're just going to reach for the top of the foot, you may find it, you may not. Be sure your knee is displaying out, right? You want the heel in line with the knee. Bring the knee in, you're still buttoned up like a mermaid. If you can, your chest is lifted. If not, you look a little more like this, or maybe like this, or maybe like this, right? So what we're trying to do here is stretch the whole front of the body. You want to actively drive those feet together. Good, yep. And we're going to breathe out, we're going to release. We can release, switch sides. We're going to do the same thing. Yep. Yep, you may reach your foot, you may not. If you can't reach your foot, you can use a towel, a strap, or just keep reaching. That is super tight, yeah. Don't let your knees sickle out of line. It's going to be tight. It's not going to feel good. Lift that chest and activate that back if you can. Like this, right? If not, you look like this. And you're just breathing here for a few more breaths. Good, one more. Good job, guys. And we're going to bring our feet down. We're going to pop up into hero's pose where you sit on your heels if at all possible. If this is not accessible for you, you're more than welcome to sit like this. Doesn't it look nice? Okay, so we're going through our last little bit here. Be sure, this is a lot of compression on the knees. So, like I said, if this is too much for you, feel free to sit in an L or take a cross-legged position. We want to sit up nice and tall. If you want to, you can also be active here and lift up if you really want to. Yep. You're going to breathe out and you're going to reach. What I'm looking for here is length in the side of your body. If you're standing, it looks, if you're partially standing, it looks like this. If you're seated in hero's pose, it looks like this. You want to keep your chest open, so don't dip your chest here, and we're going to reach. We want to feel this as low as we can possibly go. If we're in this position, you should probably even be able to poke your hip out a little bit. We're going to hold here. Good. For 3. 2 more. Last breath, come back to center for me. Good. You're going to breathe in and reach for the other side. You might notice one side feels different than the other. That's perfectly okay. Just want to feel that stretch, creating space between the rib cage and the hip. Leaning, chest is open. You feel pretty, like Ben says. We're gonna breathe here for 3, 2, and relax. All right, guys, this has been mobility. I hope you're a little more open. I did not say this in the beginning, but I suggest that you take this after a workout. Do not take it before, because we did a little bit of myofascial release, and that will inhibit muscle drive, which is not great. It means you'll lose a little bit of strength. Long story short, just do this at the end of a workout. It is a great cool down. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time.
If you guys are enjoying all of our content, you should consider buying some of our virtual training options.
We have pricing as low as $12 per month.
And services as supportive as speaking with a success coach 6 days a week.
What is a success coach? Someone whose only job is for you to reach your goal.
$12 a month to have our amazing classes anytime, anywhere.
Curious? Fill out the link down below in the description. Thank you guys. We'll see you in class.